starts now.
New data shows the number of homes changing hands in the U.S. is at a multi-decade low.
But that change couldn't be changing, that is, with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent saying the U.S. housing market might actually already be in a recession. The U.S. housing market is our big story today.
This comes at a time when the Ohio housing market is actually growing. According to the latest Ohio Realtors report, both sales and prices went up in September as more homes became available to buyers. Statewide, home sales reached about 11,000 in September. That's a 7.5% increase from the total number of homes sold in September of last year. The median sales price across Ohio also climbed to $260,000. That's up 4% from 1 year ago. According to the Ohio Realtors president, this shows buyers are eager to invest in home ownership and sellers are responding to that demand with more listings. Still, the state housing market remains a seller's market.
Now, the national market, it actually tells a different story, with the U.S. housing market remaining stuck. That's according to a new Redfin analysis. And the pace at which U.S. homes are changing owners dropped to the lowest in at least 30 years. The real estate listing site estimates that around 28 out of every 1,000 homes in the U.S. changed hands for the first time in the first 9 months of the year. That's the lowest turnover rate that the housing market has seen since the 1990s. The decline follows a broader slowdown across the housing market in general. Buyers have been held back from the market due to poor affordability, as well as concerns about tariffs and weakening in the U.S. job market. Now, the Fed has voted to lower interest rates another 0.25% to its lowest level in 3 years. However, the central bank's newest official, Stephen Miron, is warning that if the Fed doesn't continue to lower interest rates rapidly, the U.S. could face a recession. In an interview with CNN over the weekend, the U.S. Treasury Secretary said the U.S. housing market actually might already be in one.
We've seen the biggest hindrance for housing here that are mortgage rates. So, if the Fed brings down mortgage rates, then they can end this housing recession. Low-end consumers who have gotten killed under President Biden, these high rates are hurting them because they have debt, not assets.
Meantime, the age of a first-time home buyer is the oldest it has ever been. The median age is now 40. The National Association of Realtors also says the share of first-time buyers in the market has fallen to 21%, which is a record low. The NAR says this research reveals two evolving snapshots of the housing market. One group of buyers has significant housing equity and can make big down payments and all cash offers. But the first-time buyer group continues to have difficulty getting into the market. High mortgage rates and home prices also continue to be barriers.
So let's find out how Toledo measures up. We have Emily Bailey with us, a real estate agent with the Danbury Company and the president of Northwest Ohio Realtors. So Emily, what's the age range that you're seeing of buyers recently? Are you seeing people wait to become first-time home buyers?
We are seeing people wait longer. We just looked at our numbers in comparison with the national numbers, and we're seeing a slight difference, but not huge. Our age average is 38 years as opposed to the national at 40. It's definitely higher than we've seen in a long time in Northwest Ohio. People do seem to be waiting longer to make that decision to purchase their first home.
And why do you think that is? What's one of the main reasons driving people to say, I'm going to hold off?
Definitely the availability of homes has been a huge factor these last few years, especially coming out of COVID. Demand has far outpaced our supply. Some buyers got discouraged. Sometimes they're making multiple offers on homes and getting rejected multiple times. We've also seen the interest rates go from being, 2s and 3s to hitting over 8 for a short amount of time. They seem to have settled somewhere in the 6s currently, but definitely there's a lot of factors affecting buyers trying to purchase right now.
How does price factor into this? The latest numbers from your organization and Ohio show that sales and prices are up year over year when comparing September of 2025 to September of last year. Are the prices just still too high for some of those people?
I do think that affordability is definitely a factor. When we have not enough inventory, that tends to force prices to go higher. I do think, though, that even when you look at the national home price, that's just over $415,000 nationally, whereas our home price here in Northwest Ohio is sitting just over $200,000. Affordability is still something that's very much in our advantage here in Northwest Ohio nationally, but still some people are feeling that pinch of needing to save for a down payment or compete in purchasing a home.
What advice do you have for somebody out there who might fall into that category, who's considering buying a home, whether it's first time or maybe even second home, and they're a little bit hesitant? Should they be making that jump before the holidays, or should they maybe wait until things change in the spring? Of course, we don't know how they're going to change.
Yeah, it's just hard to say what's going to happen. You know, people are always curious when's the best time to buy. I would just encourage everyone to get with your local trusted realtor. Sit down with them, have that conversation, go over your unique individual situation, and come up with a strategy that's best for you because everyone's going to be different.
Sure. All right. Well, Emily, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
Here in Lucas County, leaders are working to put vacant and dilapidated properties in new hands.
Well, the goal is to improve neighborhoods and cash in on back taxes. I-Team reporter Sean Hegarty attended today's sheriff's sale and explains how the process works. Sean?
Tina, this one has a bit of a traditional feel to it. Not all of them are done online. This one was literally done on the courthouse steps. At auction here today, properties that are tax delinquent. The Lucas County Treasurer's Office has foreclosed on. 22 properties are on the auction block today, and 7 of them sold. Some of them are vacant lots. Some of them have burned out homes on them. Some of them are vacant, the property itself, but it is livable. The starting bid for each home is the amount of property taxes that are owed to the county. Now, this not only helps the county recoup owed taxes, but gets properties like this into productive use. For example, this is Waybridge Road in Toledo. This home clearly in need of repair. Now the family across the street owns it, and they say they'll rehab it.
It's great to have local landlords that are private instead of these big corporations that are just using them for profit and not really putting money back into the community.
Tonight on Action News at 6 o'clock, we'll take you inside today's auction and show you what steps are taken to make sure that a responsible property owner is getting a hold of that property. Tony?